Hey, what's up? Brandon Shelton here, co-founder of Cheetah Prompt, and in today's video journal, this will be journal number 3 of building Cheetah Prompt. I want to talk about, some of the lessons I've learned with doing over $8 million in annual recurring revenue with software, between, as a founder, but chief marketing officer, chief growth officer, as a CEO. I've had several different experiences with several different types of companies. So I'm just going to kind of share your lessons and what has also led me to the current strategy that we're going to be using for Cheetah Prompt. So as you see here, you can see a diagram. So I'm going to cover kind of 3 different overall ways on how people typically, grow software as a service company. And it's typically, either paid traffic, email, or organic. So we're going to start with paid traffic. Now, typically when you're doing paid traffic, obviously the whole goal is to get customers. And if your product, delivers a subpar experience, and notice I'm saying subpar experience because when you're selling software, the product itself is just a part of the actual overall experience. So yes, you want the product to be good, but their whole interaction with your company is important. You can have an okay product because maybe you're in early stage and you're still trying to figure things out, but the customer service is on point, the tutorial videos are on point, the customer service is actually helpful, the layout of the software is good. Like if they just have an overall good experience, sometimes if the product itself is just okay, customers will still champion your product. So that's why I mentioned experience instead of the product itself, because a lot of people don't pay attention to that. They focus just on the product and not the overall experience that your customer has with your company. Now, we know that there's always going to be churn. No matter what happens, no matter how good your product is, there's always going to be some churn. But if the experience is subpar, you're always going to have to lead back to running paid ads again. And not that you necessarily have to turn them off, but you end up in kind of this cycle of, as you're growing, you can see here, you're on this peaks and valleys. So it's like you turn on the ads, we're going to assume the ads work. You get a bunch of customers, things are on fire. As soon as you turn the ads off, you start coming back down again. Turn the ads on, you go back up. Turn the ads off, you come back down again. And this is the cycle you're going to be on because the churn is going to be too high, because you have a subpar customer experience, and because you're only relying on paid ads as your main source of getting additional customers, you're going to always stay on this loop. Now, when it comes to email marketing, so let's say you have an existing audience, right? It's going to be a similar path, same experience as with paid traffic if you have a subpar experience. The only difference is that with email, you're going to be more profitable doing it. So, you email your emailing list, you get some customers in, they have a subpar experience, you're going to still have, churn, and then you have to keep relying on email promotions. And it's going to look the exact same as paid traffic. You're just going to have a little bit more profitability. So that same thing, you do an email blast, you get a ton of customers in, then it goes back down. Do another email blast, ton of customers in, then it goes back down. And the customer acquisition piece is pretty much only relied upon your email marketing solely. And, these 2 scenarios you don't ever really want to be in, because that's not a consistent way of growing a software company. Your churn is always going to be so high with email marketing that you're just never going to have that steady growth you're looking for if you continue to have a subpar experience. And the same thing with paid ads. You might even be able to, get more people in, and you can run it a little bit more consistently, because it's not like with emails, you're not going to, do a big promotion every single day. With ads, you can more consistently get those customers in, because you can just increase ad spend, but just the margins are going to be a lot lower because you're coming out of pocket. So these are kind of the 2 typical ways I typically see how people are growing their particular software companies. Now, the third way, and we're just going to talk about any traffic source in general, is you have your traffic source, whether it's email or paid, or it can be organic, however way you're going about it. You get customers in, but then you give a great experience. Now, you're still going to have churn. The difference, though, is that when you give customers a great experience, it actually creates more customers. So you get kind of this loop in the middle. So as you're still experiencing churn, you're going to get additional customers because you're providing a better experience. And when you do that, this is kind of more what the growth will look like. You kind of have more of a steady growth, especially if you're not, doing paid ads or email traffic, and say you're just relying upon affiliates or just other sources of getting traffic. You're going to have a slower curve, but over time you're going to see kind of this huge, spike up, but it's just going to be more consistent. Now you can mix, obviously, if you're doing paid ads and email, you can focus on a great experience as well, where you'll kind of have a mixture of these peak and valleys, but it's just the valleys won't be as low because you have more customers coming in from providing a great experience. But that kind of leads me to what we're going to be doing with Cheetah Prompt, and we're starting from scratch. We have no emailing lists, there's no existing audience, and we're going to be organically getting people in. But I know through my experience, because I've been in several different situations where I've been with companies where we started from scratch. We literally had no customers, we had no emailing lists, and we used affiliates to grow. We grew slower, but we were able to do around $200,000 in the first year, did around $600,000 ARR in the second year, and then we went to around $800,000 in that third year, and then finally crossed the $1 million ARR mark in the third year, kind of heading into that fourth year. So I've seen it that way, but I've also seen it the other way, where we leveraged an emailing list, did $100,000-$200,000, in a few days. But because we didn't focus on experience, that subpar experience just led to a leaking bucket on the other end. So, we just constantly relied on email. And because of those experiences, I highly, highly recommend, and this is my opinion, every company is different, to focus on a great experience. And the reason for that is because of these main key 3 points here. Now, the first thing is it lowers churn. So obviously when you have a better experience, your customers are more happy, so they're not going to churn as much. But these two things are things that people don't pay attention to as much. And there's more referrals. So referrals can come in different ways. You can have an actual affiliate program. So when I'm talking about more referrals, this is what I'm talking about. If you have an actual affiliate program, people are going to be more excited to promote if the churn is lower, because they're going to make more money. But a byproduct of that is that you actually end up rising in the Google rankings. And I've seen this from my own personal experience. When you have more affiliates promoting things, what ends up happening is the name of your company ends up getting associated with a certain category, and it gets spread over and over and over again all throughout the internet. And then eventually Google will start ranking you for certain keywords because you're getting a lot of traffic associated with certain wordings. So a lot of people don't realize this, but if you do have a strong affiliate army, you will actually end up rising in Google rankings without even focusing on SEO as a particular strategy. And then the other thing is that, now this is not something that you want to try to rely on, but just the truth of the matter is that all of referrals that come through affiliate links are not going to be cookied. So, it can be for various reasons. So affiliate can recommend you, and for whatever reason, that person clicks on the link, they look at it, and then they come back later and go directly to your site on a different device. So they're not cookied. Sometimes they're using like a cookieless browser, so the cookie doesn't stay on their browser. There could be a lot of different reasons. But when you get referrals from actual affiliates, they're not always going to send customers that are cookied, which means you don't always end up paying an affiliate commission on every customer you get. Now, I'm not saying you should purposely try to skirt around this and you don't want your affiliates to get paid, because you definitely do. But the nature of just how, cookie tracking works is it's not bulletproof. So over time, even if you're giving, 30%, 40%, 50%, whatever it is that you're giving for affiliate commissions, you're actually not going to be paying that as you get further along, because there's going to be customers coming in that just come in for free that actually are not associated with a particular affiliate, even though they are the ones who recommended you. Now, this last one, this is my favorite, and this is mention jacking. So I coined this as mention jacking, but pretty much what it is that people start mentioning you when people talk about certain categories of products in your space. So let's say you have a particular software company, or even let's talk about Cheetah Prompt, for example. We're a generative AI prompting tool. Now, the better the experience we give people, when people start saying, hey, I'm looking for a chat tool that can prompt a little bit more efficiently, people will start mentioning Cheetah Prompt. So over time, more and more people are going to mention our product, and you're going to get much higher conversions from those people. You're also going to get people that are not tied to any commissions or anything, because this is literally just evangelists who just feel like, hey, like they have a great product, someone asked about it, and I'm going to mention this. You see this a lot on social media. You'll see people ask like, hey, I'm looking for a great restaurant to eat steak. Where do you recommend? You see this for movies. People might say, hey, like I'm looking for a good movie to watch. What do you guys recommend? And you see people are always happy to actually share their experiences. So when you give people great experiences, you're going to benefit from that on the software side, because people are just going to voluntarily mention your particular product. So it's very, very important. And those people that come, they're going to convert at a higher rate because it came from a warm recommendation. It wasn't from a salesy way, from someone getting a commission. It wasn't from, someone who had a stake in benefiting from it. They just truly felt like your solution was the best, and people are going to trust that. And then the third benefit is that particular recommendation is going to raise your status. So it's when people who might not indirectly be looking for whatever you're selling in your software space, if they constantly see other people recommending your tool, later down the line, they may need a tool in that space, and they're going to remember, oh, Cheetah Prompt was mentioned all the time. Or this steakhouse in my neighborhood, I see so many people mentioning it. Now I want to eat steak. I'm going to go there. So you're going to get that effect of being able to just start having more status and more credibility in your particular niche. Now, I'm sharing all these things because what we're going to be doing with Cheetah Prompt is that we're going to be focusing, as you see, we're doing the building Cheetah Prompt journey. I'm going to be doing video journals, kind of trying to get a little bit of organic buzz as we go along. My whole goal is when we launch our beta is I shouldn't say beta. When we launch our early adopters, because I don't really like using that beta term. When we launch our early adopters version, I just want to get 10 people. That's it. I'm just focusing on getting our first 10 people. And then we're going to cater to those people. We're going to give them a great experience. We're going to get their feedback on things. We have additional things that we already plan on improving, but we want to get feedback. We want to make sure that we're heading in the direction that most people like. And we're hoping that, we give those 10 people such a great experience that they become, mention jackers for us, that they start mentioning us to other people. I know that there's going to be a slower way of growing. I have already accepted that. But I'm okay with it because as we build this great experience over time, we're going to go from mention jacking to eventually opening up an affiliate program. And then once we eventually open up an affiliate program, then we'll start building out sales funnels where, we'll do more email marketing. We'll do more actual paid ads to be able to, put some fire on that growth. But we want to build this great experience first. We want to build this core because in that way we don't have a leaking bucket. I don't want to pour water into a bucket that has a hole on the bottom. And that's what you end up getting when you don't focus on a great experience from the beginning. So, all from the different experiences that I've had, I prefer at this stage to always focus on that foundational great experience. You want to make sure that the product is good. You want to make sure that your customer service is good. You want to make sure that the actual experience when they log in, being able to easily find their password, the registration process, like that whole, from the moment that they enter their credit card to the moment that they log in to their experience using the software, we want to make sure that holistically that is a great experience for them. And once we know that we've nailed that, then we will start expanding our marketing efforts, to start getting some affiliates, and then we'll expand and start using some paid traffic as well into sales funnels. Now, I thank you so much for watching, Building Cheetah Prompt Journal 3. I am excited to be sharing with you some more insights into some of the things we're doing. And then soon we'll be actually showing a live demo of the full holistic software so you can kind of get a good grasp on the exact experience you'll be getting with Cheetah Prompt. Thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, comments, please put it below, and I look forward to hearing from you. Have a good one.